to get this going. And the last time you were on, the music was not shared. So that is something that I need to do today, is to share the music. So when you guys are dancing, you'll hear the music too. So here we go. Today on the Lillian McDermott radio show / classroom, not only are we going to hear from Matt Bellis about Liberty Health Share and the wonderful things they're doing to make a difference in healthcare, but I'm also going to share my personal story, my personal journey that's currently happening. And I will say Liberty Health Share has been phenomenal through my journey. And one of the reasons I'm so passionate about sharing the good word about how you can take your health back with Liberty Health Share. And so here we go. It's time to dance, and I'm hoping to do this well. Tell me, Matt, if you hear it this time, because you know, here you're going, what is she dancing? Why is she dancing? There's no music. Here we go.
The Lillian McDermott Show.
Can you hear that? Awesome. It is time to dance, everybody. You too, Matt.
We make mistakes, then we live and learn. When life gets tough and it seems like your best ain't good enough.
Give me the head bob.
If you're in need of hope, you know where I'll be. I'll be right here, right here. And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here, waiting for you.
This is the place you can always turn to when you need a friend. The Lillian McDermott Show. To reach out to Lillian, visit her on the web at whenyounneedafriend.com. Now let's all learn together. Here's Lillian McDermott.
Hello, my listening friend. It's so nice we can meet each other on the air on this beautiful, best day ever. And for those of you who are new to the Lillian McDermott radio show, please know that I have been waiting for you. And today, of all days, is a great day to become a follower or subscriber of the classroom, where we learn and grow together. And as you know, it is my sole commitment to provide alternative ways to heal. And it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friends at Facebook Live, at Lillian's radio show, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, today, I am going to share my story that's currently happening, and I've often shared in the classroom that for someone as healthy as I am, my body is squealing, my body is squeaking. It is telling me something is wrong, but because I have a positive attitude, and because I don't have time to slow down, and because there's so many things that are going on in my life, I just keep moving. I keep moving. There is no room for me to not keep moving. And as a result, I have continued this journey and discovered some things about what I didn't know I didn't know. And in sharing my story, I have discovered something new. And I'll share my story later, something new to brag about with Liberty Health Share. So we're going to do things a little bit different today, because we are going to talk with Liberty Health Share and find out what it is that they are doing to create a change. You know, I have this bracelet. There's several bracelets that I wear. And one of them, I don't know if you guys have seen it, it's Be the Change. And this is not just about knowledge and learning new truths. This classroom is about being the change we want to see in the world. Yes, we can point the fingers at others, but really there are three pointing back at us. And we get to make changes the way we feel that are according to our life. Not one size fits all, but there are things that happen in life that we can kind of like formulate that to our life. And I'm excited because Matt Bellis of Liberty Health Share is here to share not only how Liberty HealthShare is being the change, but how they're creating the new face of healthcare. And since it is our sole purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge, I'm grateful that Matt Billis, the Director of Communications, is here to do just that. Welcome, Matt, to the Lillian McDermott Radio Show Classroom.
Thank you, Lillian, for always having me. I always love being here because it's always a new adventure.
You know what? I declare it every day. I don't know if, okay, so I'm showing up all this stuff. I don't know if you can see that. Let the adventure begin. Okay, Matt. So you guys have done a lot to create a new face in healthcare. So if you could share with us how you have been able to do that and what is new in healthcare when it comes to Liberty HealthShare.
Well, it was actually something that we talked about. When I say we, I mean my father, Dale, and I. We talked about it whenever it was back in 2010, whenever people were talking about the ACA and healthcare and what does this mean for the country. The ACA being the Affordable Care Act, excuse me, it's insider lingo. What does this mean for the country and how will people access health care? And we kind of just looked at each other and said, we've been a part of a solution for healthcare within small Christian communities for a long time that could be a benefit to a number of people.
Yes.
Excuse me. And so we decided that we wanted to take that whole system and model of mutual support, mutual aid, voluntarily working with one another, and bring that to a majority of people within the country, because not a whole lot of people have actually heard about healthcare sharing up until that point. And so we just said, we've got to take this model of healthcare sharing, bring it to as many people as possible, because it can be a solution and a different way of taking care of healthcare for a lot of people. It's a different way in terms of how it functions, because it's not insurance. It's not what people have been dealing with for a large portion of their adult lives. This is healthcare sharing, medical cost sharing, where people are voluntarily working with one another and sharing in each other's healthcare expenses. So, that's a little bit different way of looking at your healthcare. But ultimately, what we have worked to do is to free up the individual patient to take control of their health care so that they can be in the driver's seat again, because in a third-party payment world, insurance, government programs, that kind of thing, it removes the patient, the individual, from the driver's seat. And so we knew that it was important to be to have that aspect of healthcare whenever we were dealing with Liberty HealthShare and bringing that to the marketplace.
Yeah. And you are different. You are different because I remember having to look into an MRI or looking into x-rays and knowing that I would never go buy a car, the same car, more expensive somewhere else than I would for myself. It's like I have a budget, right? And why? Because there's a detachment. And we do this with many things, Matt. We do this with our food. We're detached to our food. We're detached to our feelings. We're detached to so many things. And now we are detached to our own health care. People are making decisions for us. They're not giving us informed choices. They're not doing things that I can say, you know what? I am going to a standalone MRI facility because I know it's going to cost me 3 times as much in the hospital. But when you have insurance, you go wherever and you don't even know what the cost is going to be. So you've been able to change that dramatically by making us aware that there is a cost to healthcare.
Well, and that's an interesting aspect that you bring up, because a lot of people don't recognize or even realize that we don't treat healthcare like we do any other part of our lives.
Yeah.
If we were to go to buy a car or get it fixed or get something appraised or whatever we do, we go in there with the whole idea of a cost benefit analysis.
Correct.
And we do that almost innately. I want the milk. It costs $3. I'm going to take the milk home. that cost is worth me having the milk. We don't do that with healthcare.
No.
We've been given almost a mentality of entitlement.
Correct.
Where we just say, I've paid into a system, just give me whatever's coming to me. And that's something that just does not work whenever you have people, frankly, involved in any kind of system, because we want to look out for what is the most benefit for us, as we should, because that's what is most effective and efficient with how we deal with healthcare and how we deal with anything in our lives.
Yes.
So when it comes to people being a part of a healthcare system, being in that driver's seat as a patient is very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And so for those of you who are learning about Liberty Health Share for the first time, and I'm going to be talking later on about my health crisis and journey back to health. Liberty Health Share has supported me every step of the way. They've held my hand, they've helped me. And for anyone who thinks Health Share is a scary step to take, just take it from me. I've been a member with Liberty Health Share for 3 years. And they're the only, and in all the years that I've had insurance, no one had called me after a hurricane to see if I'm okay. And no one has called me because I hadn't gotten my yearly checkup this year. No one had called me because I was due, lab work or whatever it is. But with Liberty Health Share, it's almost like I have this concierge, someone just like looking out for me and loving me from afar. And let me tell you, Tracy Hughes has been just an unbelievable person to have on my side. But I want to say that Liberty Health Share is like insurance, but better. So if you think of insurance,
Careful.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so for those of you who are curious that are paying lots of money for your insurance with high deductibles and high co-pays, you owe it to yourself to go to libertyhealthshare.org to learn more, or you can call 855-58-LIBERTY, 855-585-4237. Is there anything else that you can share that will help people say, I'm curious about this that Lillian keeps talking about, and Matt and Dale, what else can they learn about Liberty Health Share if they're curious?
Well, I've talked a lot about mindset on your show in the past, and that's very important. But what we have to realize is that this is a complete different way of thinking about how we pay for healthcare, and that it is a community that people join. It's a natural extension of what you would normally do whenever you're confronted with a situation that is unexpected and unaffordable. It'd be your family, your friends, your community, your neighbors who you would turn to in those times of need and crisis. We've taken that idea, that concept, that model, brought it to a whole system so that we have a nationwide community that you can rely on whenever you are coming up against those issues that are unexpected and unaffordable. I would just say that everybody, if they're looking for a way to pay for healthcare, if they want to check out Liberty Health Share and healthcare sharing, take some time to fully understand what it is, because it's not an entitlement. You are now becoming an owner of your healthcare. You're not entitled to something. You are responsible for your healthcare. It's a very different mindset, different shift. And when you say it's like insurance, it's a way to it's a way to take care of your healthcare that we should be able to rely on people. We should be interacting with one another in our times of need. And frankly, I love it because I can go to bed at night knowing that the money that I work for is going to help somebody else. And so very important, very specific whenever we're talking about mindset. It's just a different way of taking care of your health, your life. And so I just encourage people to go and take a look at that and really understand it fully.
Absolutely. And for those of you who are learning about this for the first time, Liberty Health Share has $1 million per incident. So this is not like me knocking on my neighbor's door and saying, hey, can you spare a dime? No, this is an organized group that is there to support us, and we support them. It's not take, 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 and no give. We all share on this, and we're all responsible. And what a great affiliation, what a great union to know that my goal is 100% responsibility, and found a like-minded sponsor. So thank you so much, Matt, for your support and for supporting your dad as you guys were creating, Liberty Health Share. And I'm so honored to be a part of what you're doing. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Lillian. We very much appreciate being a part of the show, and it's folks in your audience who are very very ripe to be members of Liberty Health Share, because you get it, and it's fantastic.
Health-minded, and if you need a little help from your friend, you can join Liberty Health Share, and there's a coach that gets appointed to you. So if you want to release weight and get healthy, they're there to support you as well. That's Liberty Health Share. You can go to libertyhealthshare.org, or you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Remember the sponsors page, where you click on, they're right there waiting for you. And it's 855-58-LIBERTY. Thank you, Matt. It's always great to spend some time with you, and I really do appreciate you.
Glad to be here, Lillian. Thank you for having me.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys. Liberty Health Share, I will tell you, has been unbelievable when it comes to supporting my choices. And I know that they are a sponsor, but they're also who I choose for my health care. And in this journey that I wanted to share with you, it starts off with about 2 years ago. And for those of you who are live today, I want you to know that if you have a question for me, just put a Q there. I want this to be interactive. And if you have anything to say or to add to what I'm about to share, because I know that the people who are in my inner circle, I'm talking about my family, my friends, they know about this. But for me to come out and share it with all of you, it's probably the most vulnerable I have been in the classroom, because you don't know what you don't know. And until the teacher appears or the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So there's so many things that have happened in my life, choices that I have made. And we're going to start with 2 years ago when I was in an automobile accident. And I had 4 herniated discs, spinal compression, and a torn left tendon on my shoulder. And I also, when I was rear-ended, I felt this release of air in my chest. And because I was dealing with all sorts of things, and you can go back 2 years and see the, I'm sure none of you are going to want to do that, but if you were to go 2 years, you'll see me talking about it, and you see some of the results. And I'm honest with you. I have nothing to hide, and I put it out there. If it's something I can relate to, great. If it's not something I can relate to, I can still bring it to you as a lesson, or something that maybe one of you needed to learn that day. And so 3 months after the accident, I felt that release of air again. And that's where I want to stop, because now I need to go back to when I was a kid. So that release of air became my, what is this? What is this about? So when I was a kid, now when I walk on the beach, and I hope that you guys, for those of you, did you guys check out my live sunrise this morning and my sunset last night? That's my sanctuary. That's where I go to replenish, to my retreat. That's where I rejoice. That's where I, going to the beach, being around water, that is something very important. And I walk, and I pick up trash on the beach. So it's not just me walking, but I walk for me one way and I walk back for the earth. And that's when I pick up trash at the beach and I try to do my own, my contribution. And so, yes, thank you, Victoria. You love that. Let me see. That's why you need to come to Florida. So when I walk on the beach, I meditate. I think of things, and I see things differently. And one day I was walking on the beach, and I found this shell. Look at this shell. Oh, I love the little shell inside there. It's a little shell heart. See this shell? So when I was a kid, I would say that this is how I viewed myself. So when I pick up a shell, I ask the shell to speak to me, to reveal to me what I need to know, what I need to feel for the moment. What are you trying to share with me? And of course, I contemplate it, and I'm walking and I'm in nature asking the universe and God to speak to me. And this is how I felt growing up. I felt incomplete. And it wasn't until that puff of air in my left breast that I went back there to see, where is this coming from? Where this incompletion came from? And when you're a baby and you have this beautiful baby in your arm, and most people don't know they're a cute baby, but you don't say what a cute little boy or what a cute little girl unless they have a pink bow and they're fully dressed as for sure that is a boy, or that's a girl. But for me, when I was in middle school, we were visiting some friends, and a high schooler, a guy, invited me to his room. And the reason why he invited me to his room is that he thought I was a boy. With all fairness, my mom would like my hair short, and she dressed me in polyester, so I could have looked like a boy. I don't know. But that is the root cause that made me feel like this. I felt incomplete. Now, moving forward, you see magazines, and you see these beautiful, voluptuous women that are representative of not too many women, but somehow we try to fit into that mold. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this, but at the age of 31, after I had my children, I decided to get breast implants. That was in 1995. So I was 33 at the time. And so during that time, there were, I made the decision to get breast implants back in 1995. And during that time, there was a moratorium with breast implants. They were not allowing silicone implants, so only allowing saline implants. And so my husband and I talked about it, and it's because deep down inside, I felt incomplete because I did not fit in to that mold. I mean, can you guys relate? For those of you who are watching, let me know if this makes sense to you. That you open the Sports Illustrated, Victoria's Secrets, you look at any magazine, and you're measuring and comparing yourself to other people. And so in 1995, I chose to do the implants, and my husband said, I support it. Whatever you decide you want to do, I support it. And I went to a doctor that was highly recommended, but my intuition made me ask this question. As much as I wanted my implants. I asked the question, are the silicone implants and the saline implants different on the outside? And the doctor said, no, it's the same. And I said, well, why would they stop the silicone implants and continue the saline implants? And do you know what that doctor said to me? The doctor said, women who have complained about implants are crazy, money hungry, and have nothing better to do. Okay. So at the time, I trusted that and I made the choice to do it. In 2001, I had to do so many revisions, right? And so these revisions, because my body was encapsulating this implant, which is a foreign object. So one thing leads to another, and they keep, popping them and plopping them and plopping them. The body is so beautifully made that that foreign object that I put into my body, or the doctor put into my body, caused my body to do intruder alert, warning, warning, warning. So when I got my breast implants, I'm telling you, I was like girls gone wild. Woo, woo, look at that, look at this. I was not to everybody, but to my friends and my family, because it was like, okay, I feel like this now, right? But guess what? I still had a tiny little hole, right? So here we go. In 2001, I got silicone implants, and they put them under the muscle. So something must have happened. Something must have happened with the doctor, because he put them in wrong. And then I had another revision. So this has been something that I had dealt with in the past. And since 2004, everything was good. Everything was smooth until the car accident. And in the car accident, I felt this poof. So after 3 months of the car accident, I'm rehabilitating my spine. I'm rehabilitating my shoulder. My hair starts falling out. I'm having all these symptoms. I am not understanding what's going on. And you guys know how health conscious I am. If I can do it naturally, I'm going to do it naturally. If I can do whatever, if I can take 100% responsibility for whatever it is, I'll do that too. So with that in mind, I sought for thermography, MRIs. After 3 months after the accident, I felt that poof of air again. It's not like a popping balloon. It's more like a bubble of air. And all of a sudden, my left breast felt mushy. And I called and had MRIs, because my intuition was saying something is wrong, but the MRI, the ultrasounds I would have later on, everything pointed no. No, no, no. So I'm okay. Everything is fine. All of a sudden, I am experiencing incredible thirst. I cannot stop the thirst that I'm experiencing. So what do? I go to the doctor and they test me for diabetes. They test me for some, chronic diseases, lupus, you name it. I am being tested for everything you can imagine. Guess what? I am healthy. According to my blood work, according to MRIs, according to everything, I am healthy. So I meet someone who, Kristen, who is the owner of an thermography. And I'm thinking, okay, well, let's check it out. So she did a total body scan and my entire body was inflamed. So when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I am so blessed to have this classroom with such wonderful teachers. I'm healthy, my hair's still falling out, I'm having all these symptoms, I can't sleep, I'm exhausted all day. It's taking me twice as long. So for every hour in the classroom, I research 2 hours. So it was very manageable. After the automobile accident, it would take me 4 hours. If I forgot names, I was forgetting so many things. So when you're doing this, you must be sharp, you must be clear-minded. That was one thing that I could rely on that I could no longer rely on. So I took my thermography report and I gave it to Dr. Lee Cowden. And Dr. Lee Cowden, before Dr. Lee Cowden, after the MRIs were clear, after everything was perfect, I remember saying a prayer. How many times have I said to you, your body is constantly speaking to you? How many teachers have we had in the classroom that have said, your body is constantly speaking to you? Dr. Joel Furman said yesterday, if you have joint pains, that's a precursor of something worse in your life, heart condition, a decline in your age. So Dr. Joel Furman even yesterday. So after, I remember doing, I forget which class it was, what it was, but I remember saying, your body is constantly speaking to you. What is it saying? And so that evening, because I'm having all these symptoms, everything is normal, I'm exhausted all the time, I've got a huge schedule, and everybody's telling me, oh, you need to wind down, don't do 5 shows, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna bring it down to 4. And then I need to bring it down to 3 because I could not handle the schedule because my health is important. I needed to balance and create balance. How many blogs have I sent out to you saying, I need to replenish, guys. I can't continue to do this. So I said a prayer. And I said, body, you need to show me what's wrong because this isn't normal. This isn't natural. I'm doing everything I possibly can. I've healed past traumas. I mean, can you imagine going from this to this? Wow, right? Okay. But notice that even this has a little piece missing. There is no such thing as perfection. There is only your level of excellence. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask any questions that you want. So my husband and I, after I said that prayer, we went to visit some friends. Oh gosh, no. I said the prayer and then I spoke to Dr. Lee Cowden, and that's when he said, Lily, I believe you need to remove your implants. And I said, why? I don't have any symptoms. Talk about denial, huh? I don't have any symptoms. Well, let me tell you, there's a lot of symptoms with breast implant illness. And so Dr. Lee Cowden said to me, you need to have your implants removed. And I said, I would if I had any symptoms. My hair is falling out, nothing related other than that poof of air in my left breast. So I kind of dismissed it. And I said to Dr. Cowden, you know what? I'll consider it. Again, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. That was at the beginning of the year. Then I said my prayer. And my husband and I found ourselves going over to visit a friend when, for the third time, I went to lean over to pick something up, nothing major. I didn't do anything stressful or strenuous or anything like that. And again, I felt that poof of air. And I remember going, ow, God, that really hurt. I must have pulled a muscle. And that weekend, we had a great time with our friends. And the next thing I know is now this like pulled muscle felt like, gosh, I feel like I have an elephant on my chest. Like I couldn't breathe. I thought maybe I fractured a rib. The next day that we got home, I went to the chiropractor to see maybe my ribs are off, to get an adjustment. The chiropractor said, you need to get an x-ray. So I went to get an x-ray. And nothing. There was nothing wrong. And that's when the PA said, do you think it's your implant? Now keep in mind, car accident, you have the seat belt. So I thought, I'll look into it. Now, 3 times. So it was time for me to listen. And you know, when the student is ready, the teachers appear. So I started doing lots of research. I started doing some study. And I remember sitting on the floor of my bathroom, trying to research it. I couldn't find anything. I didn't even know the name was breast implant illness. I didn't even know anything about it. And so I remember that moment when I realized perhaps my implant has ruptured. What now? Perhaps I can get them out and have more put in. Again, we don't know what we don't know. And I remember researching, and I asked again, show me the way. Body, show me the way. And I think that if you get anything from this, where I'm sharing with you openly, with my heart, I have some things that I do want to say, that you will hear this, that if you have a symptom, if you are unhappy, if you are discontent, if you are trying to figure out what's going on with your body, listen. Your body will show you the way. But you've got to be ready to do whatever it takes. Like the great philosopher Meatloaf says, I would do anything for what? Love? What? Health? What would you be willing to do? But here's what he says afterwards. But I won't do that. What is that? So this is what that is for me. So as I was doing the research, I thought, okay, show me someone that is good. Show me someone who knows about this. Show me. And I continued to look, and I went to all these websites, breast implant illness. I went to all these different, and I started looking at videos. I started looking at all this, doing research. I even reached out to people from all over to learn more. And I belong to this private group that I just shared yesterday for the first time, that I was going to talk about this. Talk about beautiful, beautiful teachers. And I started looking at symptoms like chronic fatigue, cognitive dysfunction. We're looking at joint pain, hair loss, dry eyes. I cannot believe dry eyes, dry mouth when you wake up in the morning, all the ringing in your ears, or shortness of breath, or, just go to breastimplantillness.com. I have the website, and I'll give it to you. Premature aging. When I look at videos from 2 years ago and I look at them now, the lighting in here, but I've aged more than I have. And you know what people said to me? Well, you're 56 years old. Of course you're going to age. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. So I had to continue trying to figure out, if I'm eating well and I'm doing well, I've seen people that are older than me look healthier than me. And so I was not about to, take that for granted. So if you look at the breast implant illness, and right about that time, the FDA started making changes, and I will tell you about that in a little bit. Things like chemicals, like sensitivities and headaches and migraines and depression, hyperthyroidism, symptoms of fibromyalgia, Lyme disease symptoms. If you have breast implants and you have some of these symptoms, you might consider researching your options. And I'm going to share with you what happened next. And I know that you're sending me messages here, and I will look in a little bit. So here's what happened. I call a plastic surgeon because in my research, I discovered that even if you have a ruptured implant, it could be, or a ruptured capsule. So going back to what I was saying, when I first got my implants, my body was rejecting these implants. That's a separate issue. It's a separate issue than what I'm having today, but it's all related. So back then, the doctor should have said to me, Lily, your implants are capsulating. You should have these removed, right? No, they kept popping it. And what happens with cancer? Your body takes these little rogue cells that will not die, and it takes it and it encapsulates it. And that's what we call a tumor. And so what do? We biopsy it, and then we release all the cancer. We biopsy, like if you do the research and you see people who have biopsies, then all of a sudden we've released the beast. So when my body was encapsulating these implants, these foreign objects in my body was saying, we got to protect her, we got to protect her, we got to protect her. But it's not just the implants, it's the food, the frankenfoods that we eat. The body is trying to protect us. And then we get all these autoimmune conditions, and it's because we have all these things in our body, and our body is doing its work. How many times have you heard people say, oh, you have an autoimmune condition, your body has turned against you? No, your body is trying to gobble down whatever is in your body. So if you have metals or anything in your body, or if you got silicone in your body, in my case, right? The body is going to try to protect it. So now if you have mercury in your organs, or if you have silicone in your organs, if you have your body is trying to get at that. So your body is not turned against you. Your body is loving you. It is loving you and trying to protect you. So I called a plastic surgeon, and I spoke with Jeff. And Jeff, I was telling him what was going on in the last 2 years. And these symptoms would come and they would go. And that's your body kind of like protecting you and doing what it needs to do. And whenever I would start eating better or exercising differently or doing the things that your body needs and loves, my body was perfect. I didn't have any symptoms, right? But the moment something is wrong in your body, it's going to give you some notification. It's going to say this is off. So in talking to Jeff, I said, Jeff, I think I need to have my implants. I don't know if from the car accident I have a rupture or something, because I felt that poof, and he immediately knew what was wrong. And if for those of you who are watching today and you have been diagnosed with breast implant illness, you know that there is this denial at first, and then you go, OMG. OMG, what the frickin' frick is going on in my body that nobody would warn me other than crazy money-hungry women who have nothing better to do? So Jeff set me straight. And Dr. Rankin was the doctor that I have selected to do my research. Basically, when I called, I was just calling to do an interview and have him as a teacher in the classroom. For some reason, his name popped out for me. I don't know why, but he was the one that my body, my intuition led me to. Jeff on the phone said, when I said, "Oh, I think I may have a ruptured implant. These are my symptoms." We swapped stories, and Jeff said, "Oh no, oh no, 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 no. You cannot have breast implants." What? What? Oh wow. 1995 to now, this is a part of me. This is like amputating my leg or my arm. This is my mentality, right? And so he said, "No, you also have breast implant illness. Not only you may have ruptured capsule or ruptured implant, but the symptoms that you're experiencing, there is no way that you're going to be able to do this." 90, I think he said 97 or 98. And for those of you who have experienced this, the healing process, this is the only diagnosis that will give you a greater chance, 97% chance that your symptoms, or maybe it was 97 or 87% chance that your symptoms will go away. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Well, I said to Jeff, well, I'll have to think about it because, you know, this is more than I expected. Again, I'm feeling this elephant in my chest now. We're going on 3 weeks from that poof. I had to listen to my body. And I said, I'm not making any promises. I want to go see the doctor. It's the only way I knew for sure what was happening. And so it goes. I'm driving down. Jeff moved mountains for me to see Dr. Rankin right away. And as I'm driving down, guess who I called? Guess who I called? Be the first person to tell me who I called, and I will send you a gift. I'll send you one of these bracelets. How about that? So these are grounding bracelets. So on the way down, let's see if anybody, boom, somebody needs to. So I called Dr. Lee Cowden, and I told Dr. Lee Cowden that I am considering explantation surgery. But when I said it out loud, it didn't sound right. I was like, no, this can't be. It can't be. And so I went down there. I met Dr. Rankin. He confirmed what I was thinking and what Jeff was saying and what I've researched. The nicest guy, kind, took his time with me. And now it was time for me to decide what I was willing to do for health, not what I'm not willing to do. So I drove home, had a wonderful conversation with my husband, but this was a huge, huge burden. There was so much pain, but the price to look good cannot be more than the health that is optimal health. The price to looking good. So, and being in the, and we're going to go a little bit longer today because of Liberty Health Share. So I hope you don't mind. And by the way, feel free to send some love, or I don't even know if you guys are sharing or if there's anything I need to read. Okay. So the next day, I get a call from Dr. Lee Cowden. And I think that this was my decision. This was my final thing. Dr. Cowden called me and he asked me. I told him that I was thinking about it in the message, and he called me right away. What a great guy. And he said, okay, before we do anything, I want you to go to your computer. Are you in your computer? And I said, yes, I am walking my way to the computer. And he said, go to this website called healingbreastimplantillness.com. And I think I have the link here, and I want to make sure it's healingbreastimplantillness.com. And then I went to it, and he said, I want you to go to explant specialist. And I did. And then he said, I want you to go to Florida. And I did. And then he said, see if you find your doctor there. And I did. And he said, what is next to his name? And then it said, highly recommended. So that was when I made my final decision. It was a very difficult decision to make. It was a great conversations with my husband, because this person came back. And how many times have I said, when people don't want to give up sweets when they have diabetes or pre-diabetes, or people when they have cancer or some other disease, they don't want to give up their meat. And I've said it on the show, classroom, you're more than a piece of meat. And you're more than a piece of pie. So what I had to tell myself is that I was more than my implants. I am not the same person that stands before you today, who is giving you this conversation and talking to you and revealing myself in a vulnerable way. I'm not that same person. And I remember through my meditations and in the process of making the decision, I remember hearing these words, I am more than my implants. And for those of you who are watching and you have all these different symptoms and you just can't figure it out, perhaps maybe you do need to change your lifestyle. Perhaps maybe there are other things that you need to do. But if you have implants and you've done everything you possibly can, chances are, listen to this, 40% of women that are having their implants put in are taking them out. It's called an explantation. But you just can't go to anyone. You need to go to someone who understands that the entire capsule needs to go out. That if there's any silicone or there's anything in your lymph nodes, that they remove some of the lymph nodes, that they do all these things. The FDA has finally said that breast implant illness is valid, that it's not crazy women that are money hungry, that have nothing to do. It's not. But then they always leave that little bit of doubt, don't they? And on July 24, there was a release that said that they finally are asking for a worldwide recall of textured implants. Do you know that my doctor tried to sell me on textured implants? And I said no. I did listen to my intuition there. Didn't look good to me. So there is a rare cancer that is linked to these coated implants. How many of us have felt incomplete like this shell and felt like we were complete like this shell, but still didn't deal with the nutrition, the stress, the past traumas, forgiveness, and all these other things that help in the healing process? How many people have been told that if you don't have or look like these beautiful women in magazines, that somehow you don't measure up, or that you're not extraordinary enough? enough, enough. So I made the decision that I choose health. And when I joined the board for Dr. Rankin, for the women, the beautiful women that have been sharing the stories, I have been awestruck with the courage, the bravery. These women aren't crazy. These women aren't money hungry. These are real women like you and I that are wanting and they're choosing health. So the reason why I wanted to share my story today is because I'm taking a stand. I've taken a stand with vaccine safety. I've taken a stand with other issues that are so important. I'm taking a stand for women with breast implant illness. And I want to encourage you who feel incomplete to say, I am enough, that I can, I can do anything, that my body is perfectly made, that if I am still having symptoms after I've tried a nutritarian lifestyle or after I've forgiven and cleared past trauma, if I'm still, and I'm telling you, I'm not saying to remove your implants. Hey, my implants have had a good run. I will say that. But the price I have paid in the last 2 years of my life, and if I go backwards, I would say those small little symptoms that I got treatment for, that the doctor didn't say, oh, by the way, this could potentially be this. No. So this car accident that created this tremendous pressure and 4 herniated discs and a spinal compression, a torn left shoulder, is kind of small compared to the breast implant potential rupture, capsule rupture. And so I want to encourage anyone that you know that might be considering it to learn these facts. That if you have the MTHFR mutation, which I do, you are most likely going to reject your implants. Totally different issue, breast implant illness, breast implant rupture, or capsular rupture, because your body is taking all the toxins, all the chemicals that are on the outside of the implant, and it's protecting you from it. So where am I with all of this? Where am I with all of this? I am wanting to ask you to look into this, to research it. And if you have any issues that may not be related, I happen to have an issue that pointed me there, which was the car accident. But here's the deal. If you haven't had a car accident and you want to have breast implants, think twice before you add a foreign object. This is the last thing from my past that I have done to insult my body, to aggravate my body. And they are coming out. They're coming out. And so am I today. I'm letting you know that I am more than my breasts or the size of my breast, that I am more than, that this is a crisis. This is a crisis that is attacking our body, not just our body, our health as well. And so I have woken up. It doesn't matter how healthy I eat. It doesn't matter how all these other wonderful things that I'm doing for my life. But if these implants have created a problem, then it is time. Well, I have no choice at this point because of the situation. But how many people have chosen to keep them because they don't know the correlation, or because they need to do the work, because they need to do other things on themselves? Why did we get the implants from the beginning? It could be aesthetic, it could be whatever, but this is a crisis because they've known this for a long time, that these implants are causing issues for many women. Back in 1995, I questioned it, and you heard the response that I got. So I want to encourage all the women to wake up and to choose to be brave and courageous, and to look, and I look forward, and I will keep you, and we're going to be doing more classes on this. We're going to bring next week, Jeff is going to join us, and he's going to talk about the specifics, so that if you want to learn more, the classroom is going to be open, and we're going to be talking about breast implant illness. We had, just recently, we had our guest from New Zealand who talked about her breast implant journey. So what's happening is criminal. What they're doing to women, not just with the implants, but to make us feel less than because our size of our breast is not large enough. But the beauty of our brains isn't matched, or the kindness of our heart doesn't match. And men, I'm telling you right now, stop that. Stop ogling women just because their breasts are larger. You can do it all you want, whatever, behind closed doors, but when you have a beautiful woman by you and you're looking at something else because they have bigger breasts, then you're also contributing to it. So I want to wake you up as well. I want you to wake up that you are enough. And I want you to know that you were perfectly created. And that's when you start filling in. And that's when you start being okay with who you are. And, before I close today, the class, I don't know if you guys have any questions. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you for your acknowledgement, for your good decision. And thank you, Violet, for coming in, and Robert and Misty and Norm. You didn't call me? I'm having a hard time reading this, but I will read all this, and I'll reply to all of you. I want to acknowledge, before I go today, I want to acknowledge my sponsors. I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and become a subscriber. This is where we all learn together. This is where we take 100% responsibility for living the life that we want to live. To figure out what our voice is trying to say, what our bodies are trying to tell us. So I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and become a subscriber. Check out all the social media, subscribe, follow, like, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. And that way you get the show sent to you if you choose to do that. And you can have the classroom sent to you. I want you to go to my sponsors, check out my sponsors that are making a difference with me, that are holding my hand. Sponsors like Liberty Health Share, you heard from them today. Keep Me Safe Organics, First Alternative Care, Dr. Stephen Grable, the pharmacy in Merritt Island, and also First Live Longer Medical, who are taking a stand and saying, we support this mission and this vision of learning a new truth. What we were told in the past, that little girl that was called a boy in middle school, just because, and I must say, my hair was short and I wore polyester. So that may have been the reason why I looked like a boy, but that marked me. That was my root cause. That made me feel incomplete. I'm asking for those of you to start the process of healing, to know that we are beautiful and that we are enough. So let's wake up and know you are enough. Wake up and know you were perfectly created. Wake up and know that your body is working on your behalf. Listen to it. Wake up and start reading labels before you eat it. Wake up to the sugar and salt and processed foods that are also attacking our bodies. Wake up. Don't let anyone inject anything in your body that you don't know what's in it. Wake up. Look at your doctors. And if your doctors are unhealthy, fire them, because if they can't take care of themselves, how are they going to take care of you? Stop trusting. Stop giving the power away to people who don't care for you as much as you care for you. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up and choose health. Choose health. And know that you were perfectly created by your Creator. I don't care what size you are. Do whatever it takes to heal your body, to heal your mind, your spirit, everything that has to do. You are worth more than a piece of meat. You're worth more than a piece of pie. You're worth more than the inconvenience of having to prepare a meal. Wake up and teach your children how to prepare meals like we used to do with our children and that our parents would do with us. Build a relationship that's healthy with food. And have fun in the kitchen. Make time. Teach your children that a happy meal is what you do when you create food at home. We are happy and we're creating a meal. Wake up and know that you are worthy. And you are wonderful enough and creative enough and all the enoughness that you are. And when I say you, I mean I too. All of us are enough. We just need to figure out. And I tell you what, interestingly enough, after I started looking at this, and I got some sand I've got some sand coming out. I'm being sprinkled by my last one that I need to show you. So I told you again that I walk on the beach. And what a beautiful gift I was given. This is a fully intact. Look at this. And I'm sprinkling all the sand in here. Look at this. This is who we are. But this is how we see ourselves. It is time to see ourselves the way our Creator sees us and know that we are enough. That we are enough. And I pray that if you share this and like it and forward it to your friends, if they have any questions, just know that I will bring facts, not opinions. And I will bring information so that you are empowered to make an informed choice for yourself. So this is my journey. This is my crisis. There have been other crises, and you know what? They've been for me, not to me. They've been for me. They've been able to help me learn and grow and accept and embrace and trust the process of life. That I made the decision back when I was 33, and at 56 now, I'm making a new choice. And so I want to encourage you to start seeing small breasts as double Ds. And as my friend Judy said, dang, dang, that is the way we need to look at our body, that we are enough. And so I want to take some time. I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you now, because I'm not going to say goodbye to Facebook, but I do want to end the podcast because I don't want the podcast to be too long. So for those of you who are listening on podcast and you want to join the show live, you can go to facebook.com/Lillian's Radio Show. If you want to become a subscriber, you can go to whenyouneedafriend.com. But please know, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott, wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. And stay tuned, because I'm going to be
Lillian
joining you.
McDermott Show.
I'm going to be joining you in a little bit. And we're going to, oh boy, look at that.
Now to LillianFriend.com. Now let's all learn together.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. This is what I meant.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott Radio Show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.
Okay, so that's my crisis. And now I want to start looking at what you have to say. It's really hard for me to read because I know how to read. That came out wrong. It's really hard for me to see because it's very small. So I'm going to take out my trusty, look at this. I'm going to take my and read what you guys have to say. And I want to say thank you to Bonnie and Victoria and Judy and Jessica and Maria. Hi, Maria. And Garrett, let's say, hey, Lillian McDermott. I am the co-owner of Total Zen Float in Castleberry. I used to work with Ross over at the pharmacy. If you want to do a float, let me know. Okay. So I will take you up on that, Garrett. I will check it out. And Norm, thank you so much. That's what you said. I am right on. And I miss seeing you too, Norm. Thank you. And Misty, thank you for joining me today. And I will call you Norm. Okay, and then Robert, thank you. And Violet, my goodness, a name from the past. Thank you to see you. I'm so grateful to see you. Thank you, Barbara, for your confirmation of my decision. And it's a money thing for the doctors, money. They haven't got your best intention for your health. I'm telling you, you need to become your own medical detective and talk about having to put things together because you live with certain things for a certain time and it becomes a part of your life. I remember meeting this woman that had a goiter. I mean, she had a goiter that was the size of her head. And I asked her if she ever wanted to remove it or have, reduce the size or figure out a way she could work by eliminating that. And you know what she said? She goes, but this is my friend. We become friends with our diseases. And we need to stop and say, you know what? I want help. I'm not asking you to ignore that there might be a disease, but how can you work around it? How can you give your health the optimal charge that it needs so that you can embrace whatever it is that's coming your way? And I know that a lot of people have many issues out there that are compounded by other things, and it's unfortunate, but we still need to work around those. And how do you do it is up to you. There's no one size fits all. All I can say is you need to figure out what that size is for you. And so, yes, and if you get sucked into what the doctor is trying to sell you, you need to take a step back and say, oh, I need to do some research before, because you know what? Even cancer is in your body for 10 years before you show a symptom or a sign. So it wasn't that you got cancer yesterday. So you can wait to make a decision. Don't be rushed to make a decision. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. I appreciate your comments. Yeah, those, that was the last thing she said, Barbara said, for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you're a beautiful woman, Lillian, and you don't need these fake objects in your body. And you know what? I did not view them as fake. And I don't know if for those of you who have chosen to have breast implants, I don't know if you yourself feel that they're foreign objects. There are women out there that from the moment they got them, they hated them. But there are women like me that absolutely loved having them because, again, I didn't deal with the root cause. And after I got them and I went through, personal growth and the classroom and learning about from the teachers, I fixed all those things, but I continued with the mindset. The mindset is, this is my body now. It was a part of my body, just like, the goiter for the woman. It was my friend. These were my friends, my twins. And so I'm just being honest with this. And I said I would be vulnerable and be cracked open. And that's how I have felt. And so I want to thank you for the hugs and for the support. And Kristen, I did talk about you with thermography. because of Kristen Toden and Space Coast Thermography, I was able to confirm that my body was inflamed. And so you can get used to your symptoms, or you can say, okay, body, what does this symptom really mean? Ask your body. Your body will honor you. But here's the thing, that we get to honor our bodies as well. We can't wish for money and not be willing to work. We can't wish for abundance and not be willing to get rid of some things to make room for all of that. We can't get rid of, you can't wish for a new car and not work hard for whatever it is you want to create. I think I said that one already. You can't wish for friends when you're pushing people away. You can't wish for, we've got to work towards what we want. And sometimes what we focus on is the dis-ease. But when you focus on dis-ease, you get more dis-ease. So what I'm asking is, what I've done is focus on the shift, which is, how can I be part of the solution? I know what my solution is. My size is my size. My size fits me. What fits you? So I want to thank Kristen, because she not only was on it, and I want to encourage you to go to whenyouneedafriend.com and search for Space Coast Thermography or Kristen. Kristen, just put Kristen, because there's not that many Kristens, and the show will pop up at whenyouneedafriend.com, and you can find out when it was and the name of the title. You can go to YouTube if it was in 2017 or 18, late 17, 18, chances are it's in YouTube, and then you can get the on and off the air conversations. So much that I have learned in this classroom. I feel that it is my duty, just like it is the duty of a doctor that doesn't believe in a certain way, doesn't believe in, I don't believe in vaccines are unsafe, or I don't believe that, chemotherapy doesn't work. There are other things that are out there that might work better for you. You owe it to yourself as your own medical detective. Who would have thought that I would have chosen thermography over a mammogram that failed? So MRI did not capture anything. The x-rays, not x-rays, the ultrasounds did not capture anything. So if you think that you might have breast implant illness, I'm going to give you some websites that you can write down. If you go to breast implant illness, and I am trying to find out, it's, I think it's breastimplantillness.com, and I had the link, and I can't see it through my notes. So I think it's breastimplants. Well, just do breastimplantillness.com or .org, and I think it's .com. And then the other one that I told you that will actually send you, and they've actually rated doctors for explantation surgery. Dr. David Rankin is in Jupiter, Florida, and he was highly recommended. Wow, did I hit the jackpot? And he's created some different ways, some new processes for women who want to still look normal after having the skin stretched out. But the other one is called healingbreastimplantillness.com, and to learn more about this and how you can learn a new truth about you and how to best support your needs. So if you don't have anything else, I think I'm going to say goodbye. I think I've exposed myself way too much today. There's more to the story. There's more to the journey. This is my beginning. This is my beginning of the journey. But I want to encourage you to become your own medical detective. And I will share with you when my surgery is going to be. I will include you in this journey in any way I can. Of course, remember that I am an individual and I am very private about my life. As much as I'm out here sharing this information, I'm also very private, and this is very personal for me. So I hope that you guys respect that as well. And what I need from you, because this is my time to not just give, but it's my time also to receive. And so what I need from you, after receiving all this information from since 2011 that we've done, it started off as a show and it's turned into a classroom. Since 2011, I feel like I've given and given and given, and now is my time to receive. Now is my time for you to help, like with the encouragement that you're doing. And um, I want to encourage you to send me love, send me peace, send me joy, send me strength, send me courage, send me all the things that you want for yourself. And because remember, what you wish for me, you will get back 100 times fold. And so there's more comments. Hold on a second. Let me hold that. Look at glasses. What is that, Maria? What did you say? Oh, there's another comment. Are you guys sending me love? Thank you. Send me love. That's what I need right now. If we don't look after our bodies now, how will it cope? Exactly. How will we cope with age? Combat diseases in the future. I think you need glasses, girl. That's what Maria is saying. She will look good in glasses. Thank you so much, Maria. I love you. And let's see what else you guys are saying out there. Thank you for my honesty. You're welcome. You're always going to get that, no matter what. Sometimes that backfires because I forget to ask for permission because I'm so excited because I am a problem solver. You know, there's a reason why I have this. I am a detective, and doing research is my thing. And I bring it to the classroom. I want us all to have a place where you can trust. And but by the way, even if you hear it here, I want you to trust, to verify it in anything. Just because I said it or because a guest of mine said it, please research it. Make it your truth. Don't repeat my truth. I've researched it and it's become my truth. And even what's truth at the moment becomes a lie later on, you know? So just like, you know, the example, and I said I was going to go, but you guys are, let's see, sending you shalom. Oh, thank you, Violet. Love and courage. Thank you, Violet. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, so I did say I was going to go, and I want to thank you. I thank you for the love, the support, for watching today, for hopefully, I hope that if you have any questions, you can feel free to email me or call me. You know, my number is in the whenyouneedafriend.com. We're in this together. Let's stop this. Let's stop this comparison with other people. Let's stop the comparing our interior with somebody else's exterior. We are enough. And I believe you are enough. I believe in you and I believe in me. And so tomorrow, let's see, guess who's going to be in the classroom? Oh my God, you're going to help me. You need to help me with this one. Dr. Lorraine Day, I believe tomorrow is August 1st, which is my daughter, Brittany. It's her birthday. It's her birthday. And what I want you to know is that we're going to see Dr. Lorraine Day live. So if you've seen any show or classroom or whatever, lesson or whatever you want to call it, she has been like, there's just a picture, like a, you know, either a picture of her or a picture of the flower or whatever it is. But she's going to be live in camera And so you get to see Dr. Lorraine Day, and we're going to talk about the 10 steps to optimal health. And these are the steps to healing your body, and that healed her. She was in the final stages of cancer. She opted for no chemotherapy. They told her she was going to die if she didn't do chemotherapy, and that was 25 years ago. So I get to see her for the first time, and I am thrilled. So I hope you join me tomorrow in the classroom, because the teacher is Dr. Lorraine Day. And man, talk about, you never know what she's going to say. And at first, when I first met her, I wasn't ready for her. Sometimes it was brutally honest. Sometimes I like to sugarcoat it, but not her. And so tomorrow you're going to get her 10 steps that helped her heal her cancer 25 years ago. So I want to thank you all for coming today, and I look forward to seeing you again and seeing you again tomorrow, and again and again and again. So right now I'm going to say goodbye, and we'll learn together.